I'm never going to accuse Jon Jones of ducking anyone. The only fight he's lost in his UFC career is a disqualification, for crying out loud. The man basically is undefeated in the octagon. He's the greatest that I've ever seen. He ain't scared of anybody. He ain't ducking anybody. Here's what I will say. He is the kind of person that is temperamental. If you get on his nerves and you discuss him, yeah, if he's already signed a fight with you, then he'd be ready to kick your ass. If he hasn't fought for you, he considers it a privilege to fight him. And Aspinall, he's already been on the record saying the guy annoys me. I don't like him. I want to know how much believability DC and RC do y'all believe there is to the assertion he's refusing to fight because everybody wants him to fight this guy, and this guy disgusts him so much he doesn't want to give the guy the privilege of being in the octagon.
Stephen A. Smith and Dana. White just called out Jon Jones for avoiding Tom Aspinall, and the MMA world is going crazy.
One fight that you get, like, of course it's you, but I'm talking about you want to see more than any other fight in 2025.
So I get asked this every year, and this year, it would be Aspinall Jones. That's the biggest fight in heavyweight history, and at the end of the day, what my job is to give the fans what they want, and that's what the fans want.
Jon Jones says he wants to be on there too, and he says he would fight whoever the champion is at that time. But would you be okay with him like coming back and potentially winning that belt again? And you might have to go through.
Well, it's not even about him winning the belt. I mean, you know how I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong.
Fair enough.
Yeah, especially the White House card.
He's been posting videos of himself training. He's back in the pool now. He wants the White House. If he starts getting in shape and training and stays the course, that's the fight he wants. He keeps telling me he wants that fight.
I feel freaking tremendous. I'm training constantly. The brand's in a great place. We're doing really cool things, cool people like yourself, and I'm just happy to be here.
Are you going to be a part of this White House card?
I don't know. I'm definitely training constantly for the opportunity. My goal is to just show Dana how serious I am about being in the event, and I hope he chooses me. But ultimately, it's in his hands. He's the boss.
It's got to be a good sign that you're here, though. Like with CBS and Paramount Plus and this big UFC deal, I feel like if you weren't in everyone's good graces right now, I probably wouldn't be talking to you, right?
Exactly. It's a great sign that I'm not only here, but a part of the production and part of
This is the latest twist in the heavyweight drama fans have been waiting for. Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back, accusing Jon Jones of using his retirement as a strategy to dodge Tom Aspinall.
Gentlemen, hell may have frozen over because Daniel Cormier says that the UFC and Dana White, they've got to let Jon Jones fight on the White House card. But do they really, DC? Do they really? Mike Heck here, back with another question of the day for MMA fighting. The White House Jon Jones topic has come up a bunch on the feed and social media, but this is sort of the most common question, reacting to what Daniel Cormier said on his YouTube channel, pleading with Dana White to let Jon Jones fight on the card. Dana White, of course, has said a 1 in a billion chance that Jon Jones will fight on the card. He's not reliable. Conor McGregor is more reliable. So let's go through this. Do they really have to let Jon fight? Do they really need him? Of course not. Does Jon Jones's appearance or non-appearance change anything? Not really. This event is going to be huge and is going to be a massive spectacle regardless of who competes on the card. Now, should Jon Jones be like flat out banned from consideration? No, but his appearance on this card should only happen under one condition. If Tom Aspinall retains his title against Cyril Gane at UFC 321, Jon Jones fights Tom Aspinall, and that's it. There is no other fight. There is no other option. UFC White House does not need Jon Jones versus Taliesin Teixeira to happen. It's Tom Aspinall or bust. That is the only way Jon Jones fights on this card. Now, one thing I do agree with DC on is adding contingencies to this contract. Like if he signs to fight Tom Aspinall on this card and he doesn't due to non-injury reasons, he should be penalized for it. And he should be penalized greatly. DC suggests $1 million. Sure. I would bump it to $2 million. But again, the UFC doesn't need to put Jon Jones on this card. But having Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones would be humongous. But this event will be gigantic anyways. It's just going to be one of those things the UFC is going to push and push and push. And much like UFC 300, this is going to be one of those events where like, wow, the UFC are really trying here. And that's all we really ask for at the end of the day. So it'll be interesting to see over the next several months whether Jon Jones is going to be a part of this or not. But it's got to be against Tom Aspinall, or what are we doing here? Thank you for the questions. Back tomorrow with another question of the day. You can leave yours over on the feed on MMAfighting.com. We'll see you then.
Playground. Jon Jones has got a bike. Tom Aspinall's come over and goes, give us your bike now. What you have to do then is fight. You have to defend what your shit is and say, no, you're not going to take this. And do you know what Jon Jones did? You have it. I don't want to fight. You can have it. This is unbelievable. The greatest of all time. What a load of shit. I'm sorry. Never going to call that him the GOAT ever again. Because being the greatest of all time is not just about winning. And that's what Jon Jones doesn't understand. It's about how you conduct yourself throughout the whole of your career. Are you willing to fight the biggest challenges, the biggest tests, go in there and test yourself against everyone? And Jon Jones proved, without a shadow of a doubt, his biggest test, stepped up and he bottled it well and defend his heavyweight title, because you've never really earned it. You beat a guy who wasn't even the champion. You beat Stipe. Oh my God, what a farce that fight was. That will go down as the most pointless, pathetic fight I can imagine in a world title fight in UFC history. What a waste of time that was. And all of that time letting Jon just waste time fighting old man Stipe, who could barely fucking walk, let alone fight. They gave him a bone. They threw him a bone and went, we'll give you the Stipe fight if you give us the Aspinall fight. He took the Stipe fight and then went running. And we have wasted so many fucking months, and all of it for what? For Jon Jones to eventually get to the point where the UFC were like, are you gonna fucking fight or not? And he's put a fucking tweet out to retire.
So Dana White revealing that Jon Jones apologized to him, to me, is extremely telling. What is he apologizing for? I'll tell you what he's apologizing for, as I've said multiple times, and by the way, has not been refuted by anyone. At this point, you'd think someone, if it wasn't true, would have refuted it. Jon Jones wanted a lot of money. The number that I was told was 30 million. The UFC said no, then they said yes, then they got the money. They said, we got you the money, let's go, you versus Tom Aspinall. He said he was in, took a few days, said he was out. I've told this story a million times now. No one has refuted it. By now, you hopefully believe me. And Dana White alluded to this when he made the announcement that Jon Jones had retired and they were stripping him with the belt, or he was vacating the title, whatever semantic you want to go with, and Tom Aspinall was now the new champ. He said he gave us his word and he backed out. And now Jon Jones is apologizing for doing that, or at least it has been revealed that he apologized for doing that. And what I think is very telling about this is, as I said last week, that interview that he did on the red carpet with his PR person, Jon Jones has buyer's remorse, or at least, what is the opposite of buyer's remorse? He didn't buy anything. He has some kind of remorse. You know what I'm saying?
FOMO?
Maybe FOMO is the word. Thank you, Frank.
You're welcome.
He does not want to miss out on what's happening next June, next July. It sounds like June at the White House.
Smith questioned if Jones can still be called the GOAT when he's avoiding the division's most dangerous man. For Stephen A., true greatness means facing the best, and Jones staying on the sidelines says it all.
What they want. And also, who would have really believed that someone like Jon Jones would delay things this long and bottle it in such fashion? I mean, it's pathetic on his part. But to be fair, Aspinall predicted it himself. So I just wish that they hadn't Michael Chandlered him this badly and kept them on ice. And inactivity is a terrible thing for fighters. And I just hope that this doesn't impact Aspinall's career any more than it already has. Because unlike Jon Jones, people can say what they want about Jon Jones as a fighter, right? We've all acknowledged he's a skilled fighter. But as a man, I think he's a piece of shit. And Tom Aspinall is a very good man, in my opinion. And I just hope he gets the treatment that he deserves for the remainder of his UFC career, because this hasn't been good enough. The one good thing to come out of this for Tom Aspinall, other than the heavyweight title, is kind of his aura now. When the greatest of all time won't even step in a cage with you, it builds up who you are, right? You have that fear factor of the guy who everyone was scared of is scared of him. How fucking good is Tom Aspinall? Very good is the answer. And it's funny because in all of the posturing that Jon did in the tweeting and the interviews, and I don't care, I don't want to fight him, he doesn't do anything for all of that coping that we witnessed, where he was trying to say everything he could to make himself feel better about not wanting to fight this guy and telling us all how unbothered he was in fighting Tom Aspinall, showed exactly how bothered he was.
And he realizes he should have stuck around. And so he is apologizing. And look, I'm not saying that Dana White won't do this. He seems to be pretty damn steadfast on not doing it. Here's the thing, though. They may need him. Donald Trump may ask for him. Like, there's other factors involved here, no doubt about it. I also know from Dana White, he can hold a grudge. And when he says that he feels a certain way, he tends to stick to that. And so this is all very telling. But if you're wondering why he's apologizing, it's for that reason. He said he was in, and then he said he was out. And I think Dana White doesn't like come out in front of the media and say this is 100% happening and then look like he was a liar, because I think he believed that if we got him the money, he was going to do it. And they did.
Jon Jones has stated publicly he wants to fight at the White House. I remember when he canceled that fight against Chael, Dana said he'll never headline again. Well, he headlined against me twice. We're supposed to be headlining events 5 times. He headlined against Gustafsson, Cyril Gahn, and so many other people. This time he seems like he is not going to back down and allow for him to be on this White House card. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't know that I agree. I think I would let him fight, because for as much as mixed martial arts is a global sport, and it's a sport that everybody loves, and we support people from all around the world, at the end of the day, when we're fighting at the White House, you want American people that can win. You put American guy in there in the main event that has a real chance to win the fight and send everyone home feeling very good. Come on, boss. It's me asking you to give Jon Jones a chance. That's crazy. But the renderings are sick. White House is going to be nuts, and the boy's going to be there. So
Then Dana White jumped in, saying he's done with Jon Jones's constant back and forth. He reminded fans that Jones backed out of the Aspinall fight, throwing the heavyweight division into chaos and forcing Tom to face Cyril Gane instead. Dana said he still respects Jones's legacy, but doesn't trust him anymore.
And now he knows how much he wants to fight on this card, and so he'll say, no. You want to fight on another card? Great. Let's get a $25 million gate at the T-Mobile Arena. My big question is, do we think that this is going to be the International Fight Week event, or are they going to do this event and also an International Fight Week event? I wonder, because like part of this thing with T-Mobile is they have an event usually in June, July. They've said 5,000 people is going to be at this event or are going to be at this event. They will be missing out on a lot of business if they don't do a Vegas. Like, people aren't going to be able to attend like they want to attend a UFC in the summertime. And so I do wonder if they're going to just replace it for this particular year or do a back-to-back. I wonder. One guy who wants to be on this card is Conor McGregor. He has made that very, very clear. Dana White said that once they start to put together the card, he said this to Wade Plem, once they start to put together the card in February or so, if Conor is available and if he believes he could fight on the card, he is interested in having him on the card. He was very, very, very positive towards Conor, saying that he could always count on him, saying that he never had let him down, all this stuff and more.
First and foremost, are you retired?
I am not retired. I'm actively training 5 days a week, and I'm in the UFC's drug testing pool.
Great. And what's the status of the fight at the White House?
I don't really know. It's kind of out of my control right now. I'm training for the event. I'll be ready for the event. That's my goal. That's my intention. But ultimately, it's up to the boss.
So they've announced this White House UFC fight. Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have very strong feeling that I'll be on that fight. It's going to be historic.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Any possible names you think?
Well, no, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. Be only fitting to have an American guy fight for the championship that night. I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
He has been a world champion for 14 years. That is unheard
But so he
of.
has to be the greatest fighter in the history of the UFC, greater than George St. Pierre. I mean, right? Like,
I think on paper, for sure. I think the problem with that is, like, who did he fight versus who did George St. Pierre fight? Who did Khabib fight versus who did George St. Pierre? Like, it's like, who did Mighty Mouse fight versus...
okay, but so according
who
to
did
that,
Anderson Silva
who
fight?
do you put number one based on those metrics?
Well, out of just the sheer longevity and the accomplishments, I say Jon Jones.
Who would be somebody you wouldn't want to fight?
Jon Jones. That'd probably be someone I wouldn't want to. Jon Jones is someone who is just so skilled in all areas, in wrestling, in striking, on the ground, everything. He's long, big, strong. I mean, I'll watch him deadlift 600 pounds. It's like, what the hell? That'd probably be the only guy. And I could be honest, and I can say it now because I'm retired. I don't have to worry about fighting anybody anymore, but Jon Jones is the greatest ever to grace the octagon, 100%.
UFC can't risk a shaky champ headlining a huge event like the White House card. Now fans are asking the real question. Did Jon Jones retire to protect his legacy? Was he avoiding what Tom Aspinall might do in the cage? Because right now, Aspinall is the most feared heavyweight on the planet.
DC?
Yes, sir.
I saw Jon Jones, it's back in the testing pool.
Yes.
Talking about going on the White House card.
Yes.
I think with his extensive criminal record,
Oh.
the Secret Service will let him on the White House grounds.
That's such a good question. Woo.
That's actually a good question. Well, we always have to pass background checks when Trump's there and he got the fight, so I'd imagine he will be. And I gotta be honest with you. All right, so listen. All right. No disrespect to anyone here. I love you guys so much. You can go to the White House and I'm positive you'll win, right? But if we really need an American to win, right, gotta kind of send Jon Jones, don't we? I mean, seriously, like, I mean, I don't want to do it, like, I don't like him, but it's like, if we need an American to win, don't we just send the guy that always wins?
Yeah, no, he's going.
And he said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And nobody tries harder than me. Are you sure Jon Jones doesn't try a little harder than I do?
I don't know. It's close.
It's close. It's close.
Post-career, it's been perfect. That's just the truth. He just had another one that he got right 2 days ago, which is not the kind of thing that Jon Jones would normally get right. And I've never truly known, where does the mistake come from? Is it from Jon, or does Jon have a PR team? Because most things we get from Jon are written. We don't see Jon. So when you get a written article, you never know who wrote it. And so I've never known, is Jon this bad at the sport that he's king of? Or is he getting advice that is clearly not from somebody who's ever worked within this sport? I've not actually known. I just know of late, it is Jon, and it is organic. By example, I've seen 2 interviews, most recent of which, and another one where Jon was at an airport and somebody approached him with a camera. So Jon's not even expecting an interview, not to mention if he just got off a flight, he's a little bit sozzled, right? It's not like airplanes are the one place that he decides to stay sober. So you want to think they would be great interviews, but he's nailing them. I'm going to just give you an example. Dana comes out, and Dana says, Jon fighting on the White House card is 1 in a billion. He's letting it be known Jon's not fighting on the White House card. He's letting that be known. You must understand on that card, everyone on the roster would like on it. So that card is now a reward. If a guy is doing good deeds, a lot of times he would like paid off, and he gets paid off. He'll get a main event. He can find himself in a co-spot of a main event. Title shots, bonuses, an upgrade. He goes to check in the hotel. He finds out the UFC called him, got him an upgrade to a suite. I mean, I'm just sharing, like, you do good deeds, there's incentives to do good deeds.
Aspinall has the size, speed, and composure to dethrone Jones. And that might be exactly what Jones wanted to avoid. Stephen A. and Dana White's comments have only added fuel to the fire. The MMA world is divided. Some say Jones has nothing left to prove, while others claim his GOAT status is fading if he keeps dodging Aspinall. With Tom now facing Cyril Gane, fans still hope Jones returns. But as Stephen A. put it, You can't be the greatest if you're running from the most dangerous man in the room. Dana agrees. If Jones wants to secure his legacy, that fight has to happen. The message is clear. The UFC is moving on, and Tom Aspinall is the new face of heavyweight MMA.